I didn't know it was over. Take care of you. Take care of you. Take care of you. I didn't know it was over. Take care of you. Take care of you. I wrote you on and on. You never gave me an answer. Am I the only one? I didn't know it was over. Take care of you. Take care of you. Take care of you.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful Friday and super excited for the new season to come. So, as you guys all know, every single quarter we try to release new versions of our templates to help everybody level up in this new exciting adventure that's ahead of them for the next few months. We really think this is an awesome opportunity to come together and share everything that we've learned over the last few months in terms of how to be more productive, how to be more happy, how to have more intention as we're going through all the different events in our life, and most importantly, how do we come together as a community to share all this knowledge and level up together. So this is a really fun part of our quarter. It's one that I really like because I get to share with you guys everything that I've learned, all the things that we've covered in our weekly live streams, the things that we've been building offline, the things that we've been up to as a community to help you level up. And today we're going to talk about all those things and really break down exactly how you can get involved in those new things, what are the new changes you can look forward to, which are going to be released this weekend, and just really have a good time and have a little chat. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. And let's take a look at the first few things that we've improved and really talk about them. If you have any questions during this whole time, feel free to ask. We're always happy to answer any questions you have. But definitely today is all about exploration, about what we are building newly that is going to help us level up and make our lives better. So the first thing I really want to show you is a brand new way to handle our daily quests, or what we call our daily habits. So if you're familiar with our templates at all, you know that previously we used to have our daily habits always pre-populated. So we would have a whole list of every single day between now and the next 3 months, and every time we come in and want to add a new reflection or add a new habit, we just find the day that we're on today and then we make a new entry. So now how we're doing it differently is instead of adding like a whole list to start when we already see all our daily quests, we only make a new entry when we want to do the daily quest on the same day. So why is this the change? Like I want to also explain why when I go through these examples, but it's because we found that it was really hard to especially catch up when we stop, keeping a consistent record of our day-to-day adventures. And it made it really tough for anybody to get back into it once one day was missed, because we can see all those days that were missed in between. So we wanted to really make that process easier for you. Like, hey, even if I took a quick break, how can I get right back into it and start tracking my habits again and doing my bullet journaling? So right now it's really easy. All we have to do is just go ahead and click new here, right? And it will automatically fill up today's date. So for me, it's October 2nd because it's already on this side of the date line for me. And what I would do here is I would put at today. And then when I do at today, then basically it will just automatically help me understand that this is today's date. And I just will do the same for any day that's coming on. So for the tomorrow, I'll just do the same thing at today. And what I can do now is I can just pick the habits that I need to do for today, right? For example, maybe I drank water, I meditated today, I made my bed, and these will automatically help me see all these things that I've done. And of course, I'm going to show you another way to do this as well, but I want to also make sure that I can just manage the properties and be able to see all the progress I've been going through. So all the progress has not been lost. I want to make that very, very clear. You can still see all the progress that you have completed, just like so. Actually, instead of the overall progress, let me show the habit progress. So let me show you that instead. I think the habit progress looks like this. Let's open this one up and let's see what it's called. It's called overall progress. So it was the right one. So let's go ahead and show overall progress. That's the right thing I want to show. And therefore, as I keep adding more and more habits, it will keep progressing. I can also say what I ate for breakfast. So maybe I ate some granola. Maybe for lunch, I'll eat some ramen. And then for dinner, I would, have some sushi. But you can see that our progress will continuously go up until we finish everything, including our reflections. So that's super, super nice. We've completely redone how habits work. So instead of having to go through and tinker a lot with formulas when I want to add new habits to my daily, all I have to do is just add a new habit to the habits table. So let's explain a bit about how that works as well. So if I open up the habits table now, basically we have this table which we can add new habits that we want. We can add a period of when we want to do them, every other day, every single day. The group, so is it a morning routine? Is it a midday routine, a bedtime routine, and so on? And then also the goal that I have for it. So I know exactly how many that I want to do before I consider this a goal complete. So that's also a really big difference from before in our templates when, we're just mindlessly doing our habits, but not really with a predetermined set number that we want to accomplish. In this case, we make it really, really easy to have a set number that we can complete up to. So I think that's really, really nice. So another thing that we get to do here as well that I'm going to be adding in later is on top of every other day, but what is the starting dates, right? Do I want to do on every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, and so on? Those are things that we're going to be adding in as well before the final launch. So definitely stay tuned for that before the launch for today. So another really exciting thing that we get to do here now is we get to see all these different opportunities to level up for our daily quests, our daily habits by just being able to select them, right? That's one thing. But also when we open up the page itself, we can actually have a brand new daily reflection experience. Let me show you what I mean. So I wanted to make it really easy for you to add and edit habits whether or not you're on the computer or also on mobile. So if you're on mobile, it's really easy to just open up this page, right, for your daily quests and just fill them up as they're always in the top section of your page. It's going to be really easy to do that. But if you're on your desktop, of course, you had the way I showed you before, you can just click and add things into this row. But I want to show you something really cool. So let's go ahead and click New Daily Reflection, and let's let this template load, because we've revamped this template to be really, really intuitive, really, really nice, so that you can go ahead and make it really easy for you to go and put in your adventure. So what I like to do is I like to have this page open all the time to just continuously document my adventure, right? And I've made some really useful sections for you. I'll go through the other sections in full detail after I show you this, but for example, the hand and habit section, what's really cool about this, and I'm going to expand this as a full page just so you can see this really easily. But you can see that on hand and habits, what we can have now is we can see all those sections that we defined previously. So morning, midday, evening, bedtime, and etc. And what I can do is I can actually drag this down into my habit section and it will automatically hand it in for me as well, which is super amazing in my opinion, because now I can just keep this open, right? And I'm able to just see what kind of habits I'm supposed to do at which given time frame. And then I just need to drag them in down, and then I will have them automatically marked down as such. So that's super, super cool. I think that's an amazing improvement, and I have, some of our community collaborators to thank for that, especially Ben for this specific use case, because there's just so much that can be done by just being able to hand it in and make it easy just like so. So I really, really think this is a huge improvement on top of everything else that we're adding in. And of course, I want to really emphasize that all this couldn't have been done without the help of our lovely contributors in the community, whether people who are just giving their time to support us by giving us feedback through the forums, or giving us direct feedback by including improvements that they made to the system and submitting them back to us, or even just supporting us financially. I think there's a lot of good work that happens in this community, and I just love highlighting that because it just makes me so happy to see all of us working together to level up. So really exciting to see that. Really exciting to see that this is an opportunity to improve. And let's talk a bit more about all the other things that are also improved inside our daily quest. So one thing we did is I wanted to make sure that we had a very step-by-step sequential progression in terms of how we went through our dailies, but also let you skip certain parts if you felt like that you don't need that part for today. For example, if you woke up late, then you may not want to do a reflection on yesterday, you don't have time. If you just want to quickly document some things that happened today that were really interesting to you, you can do that as well. So I just want to show you the different sections that we have within here so that you know that every time you go through your adventure, you don't have to be stressed about what specifically you need to get done, but rather just these are things that you can do to help you level up in a certain part of your life. So let's do Remember Yesterday. Let's do that and let's see what's in here. So remember yesterday. Yesterday's message in a bottle is really interesting. It's because you can, at this page, you can record how many hours you slept last night and the quality sleep you had, and also see what you reported on yesterday that you wanted to sleep on and things that you wanted to do today, right, or tomorrow, that would really move the needle. So in this example, I'm just going to add a new item because this is something that obviously we haven't done yet, where we hadn't have a yesterday entry. But if we had a yesterday entry, what you can do now is we can say, okay, well, maybe I slept 8 hours, right? So we had a quality sleep. Our sleep quality we felt like was an A star, right? That's also something that we can put down. And you would just review the things that you wanted to sleep on yesterday so that you can essentially be able to go ahead and really reflect on, the things that you were able to think about as you went through your sleep, as you were going through that process of really breaking down your ideas, and then write them down now as things that you can prepare for today for breakthrough insights, right? So this is something that I think is really, really cool, that really allows you to use this opportunity to look at yesterday and then reflect forward and really see exactly how can you use all this data that you're collecting about yourself to make life a little bit better. So here we have, breakthrough insights. Well, these are breakthrough insights that we could, that we thought about that really made us think and really made us appreciate the things that we learned, right? So that's something we can put down. Affirmations, we all know about this, right? You can think about things that you were feeling today. Maybe you're feeling a bit down. What are some things that you can say to yourself that will really help you gain the confidence and pick yourself up, especially on the times that you need it the most, no matter if you're feeling a certain way or in a certain situation. These are really good community templates that are built, and continuously maintained by our family that makes it really easy for us to go in and pick out certain affirmations that have helped other people in the family as well. One thing that I can do to make life a little better. So obviously something that's, we want to think that, hey, if all else fails, this is the one thing I'll do today that is going to make life amazing. And of course, what's one thing new that you'll experiment with today? And I think that's also very, very good. So these are the things that I think sometimes is hard to do, right? Especially if you wake up late and you miss your opportunity to really reflect in the morning. So that's why I really made it intentional to split this off from the document today process, because I think no matter what, your most important thing you should be doing every single day is document what happened today. Journaling is one of the most important things you can do, and I can't overemphasize that enough, because every time you journal, you're essentially saving your progress, right? You're saving your adventure so that you're able to work on a safe state every single day moving forward. Like, how frustrating would it be if you were not able to replay your game from the same place that you left off, right, every single day? That would be a very frustrating game experience, at least for me. You start from level 0 every single time. And there are games like that, but those games are remarkably tough and hard, and you don't have to make life hard in the same way. You can always have things that you can look back on and review. So I think that's a really nice part of this template now, where we're able to really split up the things that we're going to document for today, your 5 learning opportunities. Usually I like to put 5 things that, whether they're tasks that I'm doing or events I'm going to or just people I'm meeting, these are the really meaningful moments of my life that I'm going to document, that I'm not only going to write down, but I'm also going to make sure that I know what I loved about that experience, right? How did it make me better? And especially, what are the actions I'm going to take that I'm going to do next, so that I know that this experience is going to make me grow in a functional way. So 100%, this is how I think it's going to change the way that we interact with our system. I really don't want anybody to feel like, doing their daily quest is a hard thing, and I want to make this process as easy as possible. I had a really good discussion in the last few months with a lot of community members who were concerned about, the idea of being over meticulous on how to document everything in their lives. And I really want to say that the journey of documentation shouldn't actually even be documentation. It should be a process of, rather, I want to make my life easier by planning it out a little bit before I actually do the thing, right? And then just writing down my experience after I did the thing, so that the next time I do it, it becomes easier and easier. And this whole process now for me has taken less than 5 minutes. So I really want to give you the affirmation and perhaps the confidence that this is something that you can do really, really easily now, especially if you chunk it up and you know that you don't have to do every single chunk. So that's super, super important. Okay, so another thing that I've added in here that I really like, that I personally was using in my own system, but now I finally have a chance to share with you guys, is the whole inbox system inside your daily quests. So one thing, because I really like having this page open all the time in my system, I really have my inbox just always autofilling, right? So for example, I might be out and I might think of some random grocery item I want to buy. I'm like, buy broccoli, right? And that's broccoli, and that's something I'll write down. Or maybe I have something that's like, oh, make a website to talk about X. Like, these are all different things that I would be thinking about throughout the day that I don't really want to put into my system just yet, like categorize wise, because I don't know, when I'll get to do it. I don't know which project it belongs to. There's a lot of unknowns about this item. So what I do is I just make a whole list. And at the end of the day, right, when I'm finished and I'm back into the system, what I like to do is I like to change this to the list view, right? And I'll also actually add a sort. So I'll make sure, or not sort rather, but I'll add a filter so that we don't see the things that are irrelevant to not today. So I will see date created today. But what happens is I will just drag these things into the inbox here, right? Just like so. And then immediately they become inbox items for me to see on any other dashboard that I like. This is a really big, important part of the system that really helps me interlink everything that I need to do. Because if I have a version of the inbox or a view of the inbox on every single relevant page that I use often, so for example, if I have the inbox also on something like my Make Life Simple, right? So my inbox is also here, that I'm able to see all the new items that I've put in, like, buy broccoli or make a website or whatever. And these are always going to be showing for me so that I know these are the items I've put in. And how you can also, oh, oops, I need to scroll down a bit, my face is blocking. But how you can also see like these sorted properly for yourself is you can add any kind of sort. Now that we have the date created property, that's a new property that I've added inside this template, you can now also be able to categorize them by when you last put them in. So you can see them by oldest to latest or latest to oldest. It's completely up to you. So I definitely think this is a huge part of the system that's going to make it super easy for you guys. And I'm already seeing a lot of you guys, really excited for these new changes. Awesome. Keep letting me know what you like about the changes. And definitely, I think this whole process just makes the idea of even just basic data entry, right, into your system, data documentation, saving your progress, so easy and so intuitive that it just makes it such an amazing experience for me to be able to document that so easily. Another really cool thing about the inbox I want to show you just before, I move on is I wanted to show you that I've also added in an optional field for you to fill in. It's called, I'm going to actually add it here for you now, but you can say from our page created from. So if you add this property, right, and let's say I add a filter here, right, that I say add a filter and page creator from contains daily quest. Okay, so what happens is every single time I add a new entry into my inbox here, right? So let's say I add, remember to buy detergent. The page created from is going to tell me that it's from my daily quest. So why is this important? Well, when I'm on my inbox pages, right, and I'm looking at this, sometimes it'd be good for me to see exactly which page I ended up entering this item from. And over time, you can start to see your patterns of where do you have the most shower thoughts or the most random thoughts that you want to add in information. What is the easiest page for you to access? This helps you essentially understand your behavior and how you interact with the system, right? Am I mostly on Daily Quest or am I mostly on Make Life Simple, right? Maybe that's a dashboard I add a lot of stuff in. Am I mostly on, my Fantasy World dashboard? There's a lot of different dashboards that you can end up utilizing your system from, and therefore that makes it really, really easy for you to see exactly which page your inbox item came from and overall give you an idea of how you're using your system. So I think that's a really, really cool aspect of the system as well, and a really good way to use, templates and, making it easy for you to add information as you will. So I want to take a quick break right now. I want to take a quick sip of water. If you have any questions about what's happened so far, just feel free to throw it in the chat, and I'm very happy to answer them. Amazing. So I love that everyone's still so excited. We still have so much more to show. So I'm really excited about that. So now that we've talked about our daily quest, now I'm going to cover another part that has been updated, which is just in general the fantasy world dashboards. So one thing I really wanted to show you guys was the ability to have your own leaderboards based on the leaderboards that are designed in the Co-x3 family connection, which is the brand new app we're about to launch tomorrow actually, or on Sunday. So definitely stay tuned. We're gonna have a big launch about that. But basically what we have here is we have a leaderboard from Make Work Fun, and I'm going to show you how this works as well, where we can actually add and remove people that we decide are our friends and have them show up on our leaderboard as well in a very dynamic and engaging sort of way, and especially being able to see their latest wins, you know, the experience points that they've earned for today, the level that they're currently at, and whenever someone has a win, it will give you a little nice pop-up so that you can really celebrate together with them. So how this works is when I go to my page, for example, like this on makework.fun, I can actually go and copy embed link, right, which will open a brand new page. And this will show me embeddable components that I can play around with. Let's, for this example, go with player card and let's show our friends. So what we can do here, so for example, we have Jackie inside the chat right now. So let's add Jackie into here as well. And the moment we add someone in here, we immediately see that more people are added to our leaderboard. And what happens is that it's immediately effective. So when I go back to my page for the fantasy world and I refresh it, so let's say I untoggle and I toggle it up, I can immediately see Jackie in here. So it's that simple for you from now on to add anybody to your leaderboard. And I think that's a huge, huge improvement that we've made to the system, because previously, if I wanted to add anybody to our leaderboard, we had to invite them to our Notion page. We had to give them access to certain, you know, success plans and leaderboards, and they may mess up with our formulas. We may get confused during the setup. It's not user-friendly at all. It's more for a really advanced user of Notion who actually understands formulas, relations, and, you know, sharing capabilities of Notion. Now with this, you can add anybody that's within the family, right, or anybody that's an account on makework.fun. By the way, all free right now, thanks to the lovely contributors in our community. And we're able to actually be able to add people into our friends list so we can see their wins in real time, we can see their leaderboard, and we can really stay connected with them as we go on with our day. We're also working on other widgets as well that have to do with the phone widgets and all like that, so definitely stay tuned for that. But this is a quick and easy way for you to stay involved and get really in tune with your family. So I think this is really, really cool. I think this is really nice, and it gives you the opportunity to really come together as a family. Another thing I want to show you is, and you might have already seen it earlier, but this is a really nice component that you can also embed in your systems that has your own background. You can customize your own avatar and gives you a really good view of your wins this week, you know, your current level, how you're doing in life in general. So you can open this up and see your life progression in your different, you know, in your different domains or different areas of life, which I think is really, really cool. And really what makes sense for me here is that it gives you the opportunity to come in here and see how you're doing and get a really visual representation of that in an embedded form. And every time you hand in something, it will automatically pop up a gift box, a loot box for you to open up, and you'll be able to celebrate that win in real time. Actually, let me hand in something really quickly and show you how that works, because I think it's really, really cool. So let me hand in something quickly. I'm going to say new test quest. And actually, no, I'm going to say share the latest updates on live stream. So actually, let's use a real item, right? And then I'm going to make it a new awesome task. I'm going to connect this, and actually I'm going to show you what I'm doing on my side, because what I'm doing is basically giving an opportunity for myself to make a new item in my success plan, right, and then hand it in. So in this case, it's perhaps a 5 times impact. Oh, and I wanted to also let you know, I'm giving you guys new options for impact. You can either use low, medium, high as you would normally. But if you'd like, you can actually translate these to, numbers. Is it going to give you a 0.25 times improvement? Is it a 0.5 times improvement? Is it a 2 times improvement, 5 times improvement? That's another way of how you can measure impact that I've really liked recently. So that's another freebie for you guys to consider for your systems as well. So for example, this is a 5 times impact, right? Closing date will be today. I finished it today. My upstream for this actually is going to be, there's an upstream for this that's system improvements, I think. It's going to be the project. Yep, Q2 system improvements. I can use that. And then now I can click complete and then share with family. So now I can wait for it to go in. And one thing I'm going to show you is I can also indicate the area that it belongs to. I have a suggested area now. And basically what happens is it's going to send to the system, it's going to send to the app and give me the opportunity to see it pop up and for me to check it off and say, hey, I did finish this and I am proud of this task that I finished and it is a success in my life. And I really like that opportunity to visually see the effects of how all the work that I'm doing accumulates into my overall level and my overall progress in life. So we'll give that a minute for that to go through, but I want to really give you guys the idea that, the system can be as simple or as difficult as you want it to be. So one big change that we made to our success plan is, making it more streamlined in what really needs to be shown, right? In my opinion, impact, due dates, closing dates, difficulties that are important, but really that's about it, right? These are the only things that you need to adjust. As you just saw, it makes it really easy for me to just hand in something just like so. And even if you don't want to use all those properties, you don't have to as well. And I explained that in the tutorial system, how you can have a very, very simple way to go about that. So you can see just now it said share with family. So that means it's handed in. And look, you've completed a task. I'm able to celebrate it. I get a nice wiggling gift box that's asking me to open it up. So I can go ahead and click on it, open it up, get a random GIF, and it's a cat scratching at a glass. So it's really, really fun. It gives me a really good opportunity to just really, really be excited about the things I'm accomplishing in my life. I'm also able to share this with family. You can see down here, I can share this with family. So if I click this, I'll just show you what happens. So I can open this and go to Gilded to see how it's being shared. But basically what happens here is that it gives me the opportunity to see that, I created a task, right? I sent it out and then my leaderboard position, the experience points I've earned, and it made it really, really easy for me to get involved with family because leveling up is not a solo endeavor. It's something that we can do as a guild, right? As a community, and you don't have to struggle alone. So that's something I'm always sharing about, and I'm super, super excited about that message. Awesome. So that's yet another improvement to show you guys for the system. And again, super excited about that. Another thing I want to give you guys, a perspective on is the new energy. So we've taken two things out of beta for this new update. One is the energy and one is the jobs. Let's talk about the energy first. So energy now, and I'm switching over to the enhanced version of the fantasy world, right? The enhanced version has things like manage my energy. So if I open it up, let's see what shows up here. So what we have now is the opportunity to really have your energy levels well defined and have you be able to go through your day while mapping out that process. So how I normally do this, and I can show you, two ways to do this. I'm going to build these views out for you live so you can see exactly how you can reconfigure it for yourself as well. So one thing that you can do here is, so I'm going to open up this daily quest. I'm going to copy a view of that down here. So what happens is every single day, if you want to, you can start tracking your energy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reconfigure this one. Let's just change this one up. And I'm going to change the properties to show me today's energy. So what happens here is I can instantly add in today's energy, and I'm just going to make a new entry instead of using this July thing. I'm going to make a new entry and I'm going to say this is for at today. Again, I love using the at today because it just gives me a really easy way to, to automatically update the dates. So I can just say at today. So at today like this. And then it makes it really easy. I have an at today now. And then now I need to give myself a starting energy. Okay, so what does starting energy mean? And I really want to give you guys the perspective of that because starting energy is not something that's very, very intuitive for everyone. So I'm also going to put starting energy up. So let me just make sure that's showing. Where is starting energy? There we go. Starting energy is here. So I'm going to put that right here. And then I'm going to make sure that we have everything else well put out. So let's go here. And then I'm going to make sure that everything's there. Perfect. Okay, so starting energy for me basically means when I woke up, how do I feel? And generally I go about it and I say like, okay, I'm either feeling like super, super energetic, right? So it's like it's like 100, or maybe I feel like a bit less energetic. Maybe it's an 80, maybe it's 60, but usually like if it's anything below 50, it's when I feel like I don't even want to get out of bed. So those are the kind of energy levels that I feel like. So for example, in this case today, I felt super energetic. So I felt like at a 75. So now we know that we started our energy today at a 75. So what happens is during the day, our energy can go up and go down, right? Based on the times that we check our energy at different meal times in our day. Maybe when we have lunch, right? We have another check and we gained 25 energy, so we got more energy. And maybe when we had dinner, we gained yet more energy. So now we have 45 energy. So you can see how energy can keep adding up as you go through the day. And that's something that's really important for you to note and for you to acknowledge, because your energy can always go up and down. So what happens here is that the energy levels is a really interesting way for us to keep track of all of the different ways that we're earning our energy, right? How we're feeling and how we're spending our energy as well. Because as we finish different tasks throughout our day, and I actually have a full video explaining this, so definitely check that video out for more details. I'm just trying to gloss over this for now. But basically, as we go through the day, we're going to be able to see how the day-to-day actions that we're taking, the success plan items that we're checking off, not only are we finishing things, but they're also draining our energy. And we need to make sure that before energy gets down to zero, which means that we're totally burnt out, we're taking the time to relax, take a break, or even take some energy rejuvenation, which we can find here on the right hand side, right? And use that as a way for us to, really pick ourselves back up. So how do we add in our energy rejuvenation, you ask, right? We can add there's a recharge thing here, which we can add, and we can say, hey, we want to recharge. Which item in here are we going to do? Are we going to nap 30 minutes? Are we going to take a meditation? So these are really, really easy ways for us to just really pick ourselves up and get some more energy in our day. And again, our whole thing that we're trying to encapsulate here is that we're not trying to have mindless productivity. Mindless productivity is no good for anybody. What we want to have instead is intentional productivity, a really gradual process that makes us ensure that we're not completely draining ourselves, right? We have self-care in mind. We're doing things with intention, so we're not just mindlessly going about doing our work, but actually doing things that are going to help us improve in the ways that we want to improve, and really ensure that the things that we're doing are positive for our journey. So that's 100% one of the things that we've been able to achieve with our energy tracker. Definitely check it out. It's included inside the Gamify Your Life system as well as NL Control. And you can find it in both dashboards of Fantasy World and Make Life Simple. So definitely a must check out in my opinion. And the next thing that we took out of beta was the idea for the jobs, the professions that you can have. Let's see where that is right now. Let me grab that for you guys. I also have a live stream where I cover that in like full detail, but of course you guys can check it out for yourself. But let me give you the rundown for you to enjoy. So I believe I'll find it here. So let me go to tutorial quest here, and let me go to, oops, not tutorial quest. I want to go to the Enchanted Forest. So let's go to Enchanted Forest. I'm going to start Epic. And basically in the Enchanted Forest, we have this section for creating your areas for and also your jobs profession. We've taken this out of beta because we now have a really clean way of allowing you to see how you can define your current job right now. And then job doesn't always mean career, but just the role that you feel like you fulfill in life. Are you an adventurer? Are you someone that's right now just exploring? Are you at home, making sure that everything's intact? Are you just a learner, a student, a researcher? Like, what is the role that you feel like you play in life? And then really being able to map out all the different roles that you end up going through in your life journey, and seeing what high growth stats and slow growth stats you have, so that you can use this to very intentionally map out and see where can you improve, and really map out like really the way that your life has been. And one really cool way that I see this all coming together is sometimes you don't really connect the dots until you look back. You don't really know exactly how your different skill sets that you've picked up throughout your life ends up coming together for you to do the thing that you're meant to do today. There's someone that's, one of my friends met recently, and I thought it was an amazing example of this, where, she started off as doing design, in her schooling, right? And then she ended up taking a master's, I think, in some mathematical sciences or something like that. And then now she's making like astronaut spacesuits, which is crazy, right? She married her design knowledge and philosophies, and then she married that together with mathematical sciences and organic materials and all those kind of things, and just really seeing how that all came together. And you would not really see that until you look back. So this is a really good way to start that journey of writing down exactly, hey, this is the role I fulfill in life right now. These are my high growth stats. These are my slow growth stats. This is how I see myself, moving through life. And this is where I'm going to be, X time in the future. And then really be able to see, how all those different jobs can come together. And Jackie, I'm really happy you say that as well. It's one of your favorites, but it's one of mine as well. I think this is, part of why the system is more than just, a productivity machine for me, but really a life guiding philosophy, really. And it has everything that I've learned about, trying to live a meaningful and intentional life, and really achieving, step by step towards the life self-actualization, right, that we're all looking for. So really excited about this as well. All right, so these are the main template additions that we've done. Obviously, I've done a lot of tweaks here and there also with, different dashboards. The reflections and the review cycles have also been revamped to make it easier and better to use. So definitely check those out. Those I'll include in the release notes when they come out. So definitely don't hesitate to check them out. If you have any questions about this right now, do ask before I jump into the next section of what we have in store for you this coming season. All right, so let's move on. So one thing that we're going to be doing, and this is something that is still a little bit in progress, that's why I'm not releasing it right now, but I'm just telling you more about it, is that the way to navigate through the Enchanted Forest and the tutorial island, I've gotten a lot of feedback about how it's not as intuitive as everyone would like, especially for new people to Notion. It's not especially easy for them to really understand how things go, right? Where we go from A to B to C, all those different things are not necessarily as intuitive as they can be. And I completely agree with that. I really understand that. So right now what I'm working on is another way for you to, easily navigate through the system, go through tutorials, find out what you're missing before you get to the end, right? And also give you a chance to skip ahead a little bit if you do want to, because I do know that there's a lot of things, especially in the Enchanted Forest, that you may not need at the very beginning, right? And I want to give you the opportunity to choose and pick and choose what you really need in your system. So as an example, right, let me open up for you and show you, how it can be confusing where, you know, we have areas and values being covered first, goals and key results. We have our different dashboards being covered then, and then different my network. So like there's a lot of different bits and pieces of the system that you might want to get earlier on, even before you get to Enchanted Forest. So what we're giving you is going to be an opportunity to dive into those systems as soon as you want to, and really give you the chance to enjoy the entire system and not really feel like you're missing a part until you get to a certain level. So it's a mixture of both, making sure that you're progressing at a reasonable pace and you're not overloading yourself with too many systems, and also giving you a chance to really understand how you can throw in different pieces of information or different systems into your overall system so that you can really achieve the things that you want to achieve with your personal life management system. So that's something that's coming up as well, and you can definitely stay tuned for that. I hope that all these updates will be coming for the template within the next 24 hours. We also have a lot of improvements to the Academy as well as to the Toolbox website, where we're going to have a lot of breakdown and detail about each part of the system, what it encapsulates, how does it work, what can you expect for new things to come, a discussion tab for each one. So we're really coming up and revamping our materials to make it so easy for you to understand exactly how to use the system, where you can find things, and just making it more and more easy for us to communicate all these ways that you can level up. And again, really thankful for all the support everyone's shown so far in the system as well. So let's talk about the final thing, which is what's to come overall for you to, be excited by inside our system, inside everything that we're doing for you as a community, as an action, a place for you to take action, and a place for you to learn more knowledge. So I'm just going to give you the quick rundown. Obviously, people who have been very involved in this process in the community, or a bit about what I'm talking about. But I really want to give you guys my 5-10 minutes of my, I guess in a way, very passionate spiel about how I see what Co-x3 is going to evolve into and what's it already doing now for everybody. Because even for myself, it's helped me tremendously, and I want to make sure that we're doing more and more for everybody who's getting involved in the community, who wants to level up together with us, and just really give everyone a chance to come together and learn, grow, take action, and just never struggle alone. So let's talk a bit about that. So, if everyone knows, we basically split up the community into three components, right? We have knowledge, right? How can we deliver knowledge through videos, through articles that really help everybody, level up in a certain way where they learn something new, right? Maybe it's a new way of how to be creative in their life, how to how to, learn new mental models, all these different things that really help you understand the human condition and how to hack our brain to make it do what we want. That's all encapsulated within knowledge. So something that's going to come up within this month is going to be, you're going to see a lot of knowledge articles that are part of a series. So it's like, hey, the A to Z of how to put yourself online. That's going to be one series that we're going to create. The A to Z of how to learn mental models and how to really build up our mindset so that we can be happier and we can be stronger and really weather the storm when things get tough. That's going to be another series of articles. But really, I'm going to make articles that are targeting specific problems that, again, I faced and many of the community members have faced, so that you have a really clear guide and action on how to, tackle certain parts of your life that you're going through, different life stages, and just really important knowledge pieces I think are missing out there, at least in a very digestible way to, take in that information. On top of that, we're going to have a lot of collaborative opportunities. I'm opening up the Co-x3 family for any collaborative articles to come in through our editorial system. So it's going to be really exciting where I'm expecting to see a lot of content creators from our community write about experiences, share their knowledge, and really start building like a whole library of resources where in the future, if you ever want to learn about how to be a great student, great creative, how to be a great second winder, this is exactly the place to go. And you can learn about just about anything that you want, and I'm really excited about that. In terms of action, obviously there's a huge component of not only how do you learn the things you need to learn, but how do you then take action on the things that you're learning. Because we can read 100 self-help books, 100 personal development books, but if we're not able to put any of that into action, it's just going to stay stuck in our brain somewhere in our subconscious. And of course someday it will come out and I'm sure it'll be helpful, but it's not necessarily something we're actively making use of and actively making sure it's valuable in our lives. So taking action is really important. Right now we do it through the templates, but starting tomorrow we're going to be launching the family connection, and that's going to be a huge part of how people can take action in our lives, from being able to not only visualizing their progression in life, but also working together with other family members in party quests so that we can work together to take action on the things that matter most, whether it's the things that we're stuck on, the projects that we have to, the dragons we have to slay that are slowly building up, or just time challenges, right? We just want to do the best we can in as short a time possible. And those are also amazing opportunities for us to grow and learn together as well. So, and then the last part of the community, this is where I think we're going to have a lot of opportunity to level up. Right now, the community has always been a kind of free for all. You come in, you learn. There's a lot of helpful people in the community that jump in and try to, engage and, make sure that, there's a lot of, camaraderie inside the community. I love it. We get to co-work together. There's a lot of interesting and meaningful discussions all the time. It's a great place to be. But one thing we're going to do now is we're going to start launching, and it's going to start from this weekend onwards. But whenever you join the community, especially as a new member, you're going to be able to get paired up with a mentor, right? A buddy system. We don't have the perfect name for it yet, but for now, you think of it as a buddy system. But basically, based on the personas that you've been crafted, right? The creative student, second winder, as well as the classes that you've chosen, whether you're, you feel yourself as like a fighter, you feel yourself as like a sage, you feel yourself as, an archer, all these different classes, you're going to find a space within the community that have people just like you, right? And also a party leader or a guild leader in that sense that is going to be your guide for your journey moving forward. So basically what you're going to have from now on is a very hands-on experience where the moment you join a community, there is someone to greet you, there's someone that's going to help you level up, someone that's going to hold your hand as you go through this journey of self-exploration, discovery, adventure, really, and really give you a chance to level up where you need to the most. And I think that's a wonderful initiative. Much love to everyone in the community who has suggested this and are part of this initial wave of support, because this is going to be an amazing way of how we're going to really make sure nobody ever has to struggle alone again. And I think, all these things combined are the things that I wish I had when I was younger, when I was going through certain stages in my life, when I was, going through school, building my first businesses, doing my first few jobs. Like, these are all certain things that I wish I had back then. And I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to share this with you guys now and have the space where we're all coming together to build something great. And I just can't stop being so proud and being so happy of all the things that we've done together as a community. And thank you all for being a part of this journey. But one thing for sure is that you can expect a lot of stuff to be coming in the coming weeks. This is a brand new season for us. It's officially season 2, right? I'm calling it Co-x3 2.0. It's our opportunity to reinvent ourselves and give ourselves the opportunity to, you know, deliver even more value than we have done already. And I'm so excited to participate in this new season with you guys. And this is the opportunity for all of us to level up, do a little better, and make work fun. And we're going to live the most intentional life that we can. So that's it from me, guys. I'm super excited. You know, I will have a newsletter that comes out on Monday that recaps all the things that are coming out. But of course, if you're in the community, you're going to have a live preview of exactly everything that's coming as it comes. We're going to have a huge launch tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that. Get involved, join the community. We have lots to talk about. And if you guys want to get involved, just reach out. We're always happy to have you. All right, guys, please take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope you all are well, and I'll see you guys real soon.